Yeah, I have 2 young boys. They're 1 and 2 right now.
Wow.
So I get to watch this, and I have a 14-year-old stepdaughter. So I'm watching this.
Wow,
and
what
thinking,
an interesting.
Yeah. So, and I grew up with her for about 8 years, so I got to see her kind of turn into a woman and be a big part of her life. And now I'm looking at these boys, and I'm just like, man, like there's a lot of things I definitely don't want to do. I don't want to tell them to be a man, you know.
Right.
But I want them to see.
But actually take pride in being a man too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a conundrum.
It's a line you have to walk.
It's a really fine line.
And then they also got the media on this side. So the latest Pixar movie is programming all sorts of behaviors and relationships between genders in the background, right?
Yeah, it is.
And there's only so much I can do. I mean, I can do a lot, but there's that going on too.
Right.
And they're in London. So, I mean, I've got my work set out, but I'm thinking about this right now, Rose, because I'm like, wow, because I want them to be able to be creative and expressive and all that, and everything they want. And I also want them to be able to, I don't know, defend themselves and do jujitsu and then also do art and not feel like one is different than the other.
Right.
So
I think everything is an art form. You know, I talk to a lot of people who say, and it's interesting, you'll meet people, this happened a lot in LA actually, and they would say, oh, I'm not on the creative side. They would wave their hands like it's something that was horrible that might be catching. And I would think, well, how very sad for you. Because if I was an accountant, I would be the most creative accountant out there. If I was a lawyer, I'd be a creative lawyer. I think creativity can go with us, whether I think art is jujitsu. I think art isn't necessarily just painting or photography or what we ascribe it to be. I think it's freedom of mind. And I think jujitsu, anything, art can be in the beauty of that motion, right?
Yeah. I think Andy Warhol said, you know, business is the most beautiful art.
Ha ha ha.
Of course, he would say that.
He would say that.
But no, I agree with you. I hate it when people say I'm not an artist, I'm not creative, because it's like, well...
It's so narrow.
Yeah.
Why would you say that about yourself?
Yeah. It's a weird programming.
It's a total programming.
Yeah. And I mean, I grew up in that because I was the kind of the science tech geek, and I was like, oh, I'm choosing science over
My
humanities.
sister is also an aeronautical engineer.
Okay.
She's a material science engineer.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I went to MIT, and there's literally no English department, no humanities department. There's really very little, you know.
Yeah, I think it should be
creativity.
STEAM, not STEM.
STEAM.
What, the science, technology, English, and math. But it should be art should be in there too.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you on that one.